Ready? Time to get people by yourself. Right. Slow.
You may be seated. And please take a moment to silence your cell phones if you have not done so already. Good morning and welcome. We will now begin the 210th commencement ceremony of the Albany Academy. Please welcome our head of school, Mr. Chris Laricella.
Good morning. I was sitting up here and watching all of the cell phones out, all the videotaping, and I was thinking to myself, how much has changed in the 26 years that I've been doing commencements like this. So I encourage you, yes, silence your cell phones if you can. I understand the need to capture that moment, but also try to be here, fully present in this moment so we can celebrate these young men today. So good morning. I want to welcome our students, parents, faculty, trustees, alumni, and alumnae, Dr. Kim, and honored guests. Class of 2023. Congratulations, you made it. And you've got some bragging rights. You made it during a particularly challenging time in history. And today's ceremony is a wonderful moment for our school community and your families to come together and celebrate you individually and collectively. It is a moment to celebrate some of your personal achievements and also remind us that we are a part of something larger than ourselves. You will soon join the storied ranks of Albany Academy alumni, many of whom lived through their own difficult moments in history. So I don't want you to get a big head. And yes, COVID was tough, but so was the Civil War, World War I, the Spanish flu, the Great Depression, World War II, the Vietnam War, the Cold War, 9/11, and all the other hard times in between these world events. And despite this, all of your predecessors went on to live lives of purpose. And when we ask them to reflect on these lives, alumni tell us that the road to their success in life started here at the Albany Academies. With the perspective of time, they realized that they graduated with a powerful foundation that was developed by their families, their friends, and their school community. And when they return for reunion year after year, alumni speak lovingly of their parents and with profound gratitude that they were given the gift of an academy's education. They also share how easy college seemed to be after their time here and how grateful they were to have been so well prepared by their teachers. They fondly recall their favorite faculty members and remember assignments and conversations that go back decades. Alumni also share the lifelong bonds they have with their classmates. It's obvious to me how much they still cared for one another and amazing to see them pick up right where they left off, whether they were 5 or 50 years removed from their own commencement day. But you don't need to be a graduate to understand this. I was struck by this when Jacob gave his cum laude speech earlier in the year. His thesis concluded that, quote, "The Academy experiences is all about a community that supports those within it and is open to the needs of the world around it. A community where people give of themselves. A community where we get to challenge and be challenged, recognize and be recognized, and grow, no matter how old or young we are. A community where we get to learn together and from each other how to be human." End quote. I think we're lucky to be part of a school where we quickly come to understand how impactful this sense of community can be. In a few minutes, we'll get to an inspirational example of this from our speaker, Dr. Peter Kim, class of 1987. Dr. Kim is an outstanding example of how the road to success starts at the Albany Academies. As a student, he spent his time excelling in academics, leading the cadet battalion as a major, and co-captaining the varsity tennis, football, and swimming teams. After graduating, he went to Harvard College and then Cornell University, where he received his MD with honors in research. He has served as a physician and a surgeon at North Central Bronx Hospital and Jacobi Medical Center in New York City, and as an associate professor of surgery at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. Dr. Kim is a proponent of staying curious, no matter what, and doing meaningful work. He'll explain this more fully in his speech, and I know that we will find it compelling. Now, I know we want to get to that and our student speakers, who I know will be equally exceptional, but I hope you will join me for just a moment longer in celebrating some of the folks who helped you get to today. So if you are a parent, a grandparent, a step-parent, host parent, or some other type of guardian, would you please raise your hand? Thank you. Having your children attend and now graduate from the Albany Academies represents a decision that you made to provide them with a lifelong gift of an outstanding education. Thank you for trusting us with these exceptional young men. Class of 2023, I know your appreciation for these folks will continue to grow up with you. But for now, may I suggest that if you haven't thanked them already for all that they've done, that you find a quiet time to do so in the next few days. I'm sure that they know that you appreciate them, but sometimes we get busy and forget to express what's in our hearts. I would also ask that we show our appreciation and affection for the faculty, staff, and administrators, both past and present, who have spent countless hours preparing our students for this day. Today's ceremony reflects your passionate commitment to your students and to our mission. We could not be here without you. Thank you for all you do each and every year to help get us to this moment. And speaking of moments, put those cell phones away for a second. Graduates, take a moment now to look at the friends and family you have under this tent. Break that fourth wall, make eye contact, smile, wave, pause, and just be for a moment. Take this moment in. Go ahead, I'll wait. How nice is it to be able to do that? This may be the last hour in which you are all together in one place before you go on to your next adventures. You are likely very eager for this right now, but with each year that passes, you may also find yourself yearning for those who knew you when you were in the act of becoming, bonded together by common experiences of childhood. Please continue to invest in these relationships. This next hour is like the end of the first chapter of a long novel, and I hope you will keep in touch with each other over the coming years to see how the rest of the story turns out. Better still, please come back to campus from time to time for one another and keep your memories alive and pass along your wisdom to the generations to come. Finally, I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for their support and leadership of our school. For those in attendance, I hope that this next hour clarifies why you've chosen to support the Albany Academies with your time, your talent, and your treasure. We sincerely appreciate all that you do. Thank you. There is one particular trustee who I'd like to celebrate today, Mrs. Nancy Carey Cassidy, our board's president. She'll soon address you on behalf of the trustees and then join us when we hand out diplomas. In addition to a demanding professional career, Mrs. Cassidy devotes hours of her time to the school. And we could not ask for a better board president or thought partner. This will be the last graduation that Nancy presides over as board president, as she is terming off the board after over 20 years of volunteering in various capacities at the Albany Academies. Nancy, you are incredible. Thank you for all that you have done for the Albany Academies. Please join me at the lectern.
Oh, Mr. Johnson, I wish you would sometimes realize how short I am. Thank you, Chris. I had the benefit of working with Dr. North and then Chris Loricella as head of school, so it made my job a little easier than I think it would have been had I not had those great partners. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of the Board of Trustees, but I again would like to thank the Board of Trustees for all that you do for your school. They are the stewards of the school, and they are hard at work now looking at a horizon that's 10, 15 years and looking to see what the school resources are needed. and put a plan into work to make sure that we get those resources for this wonderful school. I'd like to thank the faculty and the staff and the administrators. You're what makes the Albany Academies the premier school in the region, and we appreciate all that you do for the students. Parents, families, thank you for entrusting your sons with us, whether it was for a few years or a lifetime. You put your faith in us, and we hope that we've met your goals. And graduates, this is my last time to steal the podium and do my annual request for one more thing for you before you depart, and that is make sure you register to vote. It's very easy to do. If you'll be 18 by the next election, you're eligible, but don't just register. Go to the Board of Elections in your area and get an absentee ballot. Make sure you got some postage and mail it back, because voting is how you participate in our democracy. So I ask that you do that. I had a parent tell me that got their son to register to vote, so at least I've got one of you out there. And as I leave you, just one more thing. As Oscar Wilde said, stay yourself because everybody else is taken. So as you advance, your road to success has begun, but as you continue on your journey, I hope it's a happy and joyful one. Congratulations, 210. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. I am pleased today to introduce Dr. Peter Kim, class of 1987. It is no wonder that the class of 2023 overwhelmingly selected Dr. Kim to offer today's address. Mr. Laricella already highlighted many of the highlights on Dr. Kim's resume, so I'll take a page from Jacob Danner's speech where he spoke about reaching out to the world beyond our community. While he was at Cornell, Dr. Kim spent a year of research at the National Institutes of Health, where he cloned and determined the structure of the human FAD gene and mapped FAD to chromosome 11q13. He has worked as an attending surgeon and taught medical students, and he also started the North Bronx faculty practice and has served as director of the board for the Physician Affiliate Group of New York for the last 9 years. Most recently, he has started a video podcast series called Between Two Scalpels. Dr. Kim currently lives in Pelham, New York with his wife, Sarah. In addition to reaching out to the greater community, he has also raised 2 wonderful sons, one an alumnus of Cornell and the other a current student there. Please offer a warm welcome to our commencement speaker, Dr. Peter Kim.
Thank you. Imagine a home. Odysseus traveled for 20 years before he returned to his home on the Greek island of Ithaca. After my 36-year journey, I am home again. Thank you for the opportunity to reflect on my tiny role in the history of this great school, the Albany Academy. This history includes Andy Rooney, who wrote and entertained us with his everyday thoughts on 60 Minutes. I found a copy of his book on a shelf in a hotel, and in the first chapter, he wrote about chairs and the importance of seats and where you are today, and how we don't recognize that as much as we should. I'd also like to recognize at the Albany Academy the teachers who make a big difference for us. Joseph Henry, who was born in 1797 in Albany, he taught mathematics and physics at the Albany Academy, like my teachers, Patty Santon, John Hofkesang, Peter Wells, and Doc Schmalberger. Peggy Talbot and Mike Rourke taught me biology and chemistry. But going back to the early 18th century, Joseph Henry discovered several principles of electromagnetism, and the unit of magnetism is named after him, the Henry. He went on to become a professor at Princeton, then the first director of the Smithsonian Institution. And the great history of the Albany Academy includes Herman Melville, who was a student in the early 1800s.
He traveled the world several times, abandoning his whaling ships in the South Pacific, and he wrote Moby Dick, as well as one of my favorite short stories, Bartleby the Scrivener, that I was assigned to read as a student here at the Academy. Tucker Gilman, my history teacher, encouraged me to backpack through Europe after graduating and traveling in Spain with my Spanish class, led by Roosevelt Nickham. Frank Schmertz and Bill Rosenberg taught a course in Oriental literature that opened my eyes to Eastern Taoism and the love of reading. So in 1987, as a vertically challenged 5'4" 135-pound Korean boy, I was allowed to become the major of the cadet battalion, captain of football, swimming, and tennis, and these opportunities shaped me for the future. You know, on this field, when the grass was high, Kip Oberning and I, who were both 5'4", that was a good day because they didn't see us coming to make the tackle. I share an interesting pedigree with Ted Kaczynski. Like the infamous Unabomber, I was born in Schenectady, and I went to Harvard. Hopefully the similarity ends there because he passed away in jail this week. But growing up in Schenectady, my nickname was Question Man. So when I was a little kid growing up in Guilderland, I hung out with kids 1 and 2 years older and played Dungeons and Dragons on weekends, sometimes for 72 hours straight. Question Man, they called me. What's a paladin? What's a white dragon do? All my life, I've asked questions. I learned in business school that a good CEO surrounds him or herself with people who know things that the leader does not know, and the leader asks questions. I asked my teacher in surgical residency, what was his definition of success? And Dr. Steed said, I wake up in the morning and I have a job I want to go to. At the end of the day, I have a home that I want to go to. Over the years, roles change, and we begin to get asked questions. We become parents and teachers and bosses. So now it's time for some friendly advice. Number 1, please take a job that helps people. I worked in the Bronx helping the poor as a trauma surgeon for 16 years. Most of my patients, they didn't have any money, couldn't speak English. Be their advocate. Practice vocare, a calling. Take a job that helps people. Practice ikigai. As one of the 4 pillars of the Japanese life principle of ikigai, which they developed in the small island of Okinawa, Japan, where people live to more than 100 years old. This is one of the blue zones of the world. Take a job that helps people. Do something the world needs. There's an old Jewish saying I learned in my primary care physician's office that says, if you help one person, you help the world. Yes, indeed, you can just help one person and you can help the world. Number 2, be kind to your parents. If you can be kind to them, then I think you can be kind to your teachers, you can be kind to your bosses, and then perhaps even to your own government. As a student, be curious. As a scientist, explore. As a professional, whether you go into law, medicine, business, crusade. As a creator, and somehow lately I'm a video podcaster, wander. Find a quest. Ask yourself, what is my quest? And be the hero of your own quest. Thank you to Jim Poole for assigning The Hobbit in 5th grade to us. J.R.R. Tolkien said, not all those who wander are lost. Ask questions, good questions. Why, what, how? Questions that make the interviewee on my podcast excited to talk on camera. Listen to the answers. If you listen, maybe you can create better questions. So my time is up, and I ask you to please indulge me and close your eyes. And I want to finish with this analogy as you let the tent over us melt away. Imagine a bow and an arrow. This compound bow we call the Albany Academy, now pulled as tight as our arms and backs will allow, points you, the 65 arrows, the graduates of the class of 2023, upward. As we last feel the feathers of your smiles today in this ceremony, we release you. We launch you skyward to wherever your hearts may take you. Good luck in your journeys. Like Icarus, don't fly too close to the sun for fear of the wax in your feathers melting off. But please, have fun, be curious, and if you're lucky, make friends along the way that hopefully will invite you back to their homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. And now for our salutatory address. Our salutatorian has been at the Albany Academy for 13 years. In the last 4 years, he has earned over a dozen A+ in a range of advanced placement classes and been a member of the varsity cross country and tennis teams. Last year, he was awarded the Boston College Book Award, given to the outstanding junior who reflects BC's tradition of academic excellence, leadership, service, and high moral character. Those of you who know this thoughtful student know that he embodies each of those qualities. Fittingly, in the fall, he is headed to Boston College, where he will study business at the Carroll School of Management. Please join me in welcoming salutatorian John Daly to the podium.
Good morning, faculty, staff, friends, family, and of course, the class of 2023. It is my honor to speak to you all as this year's salutatorian. Honestly, if you asked me to spell the word salutatorian a month earlier, I most likely would have added an extra I, or maybe even replaced the T with a D. Then again, that's probably why I'm not the valedictorian. In all seriousness, it is such a pleasure to speak to you today about my reflections from high school, and I would like to begin by sharing a key moment from junior year. It was a weeknight in the early fall, and I had just sat down to start my nightly homework, which would take no less than 3 hours to complete. As I sat there with energy and morale low, my mom walked through the door to check in on me. Instead of giving her the usual, "I'm fine," so I could be left alone to finish my work, I was brutally honest with her. I said, "Mom, I don't know how I'm going to get through 2 more years of this." Of course, she promised me I would, and told me that I would eventually look back at this moment with a feeling of relief and accomplishment. Standing here today, I believe that she was absolutely right. Pushing myself through the trials and tribulations of the past 2 years, while challenging, was extremely rewarding and worthwhile. While high school is merely a taste of what is to come, I would like to share with you all the powerful testimony that delivered me through high school and will do so beyond. I like to call it the 3 Ps. Perspective, perseverance, and purpose. Firstly, I will talk about perspective. Perspective is defined as a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something. A point of view. Essentially, perspective is your long-run outlook on a situation. Typically, it is tempting to look at a negative situation, like failing a test or not landing that job, and immediately develop a pessimistic view of the event. "I'm not good enough," or "I should have done better," are the phrases we use to describe our disappointment. Well, I'm here to tell you that is never, and I mean never, the correct approach. Understand that difficult situations in life can only mature you as a person. That small mishap that feels earth-shattering in the moment could be the reason for a great success in the future. Always keep a perspective. Perseverance is all about consistency. One of the greatest life lessons is that immediate results are never guaranteed. However, good things always come from hard work and persistence. When accomplishing a goal, you must always stay strong through your setbacks, because as I previously mentioned, your setbacks are what build your character. Persevering through adversity is never an easy challenge, but surrounding yourself with the right people, the type of people that encourage your decisions and take pride in your success, can make your hardship seem a lot less intimidating. And finally, the last P, purpose. While hardship is beneficial to your soul, worldly goals and pleasure, like money or fame, will not bring ultimate satisfaction. Rather, true and lasting fulfillment comes from nourishing your mental and physical spirit with strong relationships, meaningful work, and passion-filled activities. Additionally, we should strive to be light to those around us. In the day-to-day, when life can be mundane and repetitive, we have the opportunity to show others kindness, care, and generosity. Regardless of where life takes you, your treatment of others is the most important legacy you can leave. Wherever you are, find your purpose. To the class of 2023, I leave with you the wise words of C.S. Lewis. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. With a foundation of excellence, knowledge, and drive, thanks to the formative academic experience offered to us by the Albany Academies, I know we are equipped to embark on an even more exciting, growth-filled journey. God bless this institution, and God bless the class of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Over the past 4 years, our seniors have demonstrated achievement in academics, athletics, the arts, and citizenship. At Last Chapel last week, we recognized many of these accomplishments, and you can find them listed in the program. Today, we will name the recipients of one final set of awards to celebrate the individual achievements in the class of 2023. To name our first of today's honorees, I would now like to welcome to the podium Athletic Director Paul Gallucci.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to go off script for like one quick moment because we had a pretty prestigious thing happen this past weekend. Coach Hansen and the track team won the New York State Federation Championship. So congratulations. The Gould Sportsmanship Cup is the gift of John C. Gould, class of 1903, in honor of his father, Charles Barton Gould, class of 1874, who from 1879 to 1938 taught at the Academy with great success. It is awarded each year to that member of the upper four forms who shall be judged by a faculty committee to have exemplified the highest ideals of sportsmanship. Please join me in congratulating Liam Francis Hayes. The Albany Academy Alumni Association annually presents an award in honor of Alfred K. Sabish, a member of the Department of Athletics from 1931 to 1971, and Director of Athletics from 1957 to 1971, in accordance with Mr. Sabish's request to recognize that senior who has participated for a minimum of 3 years of interscholastic athletics at the Albany Academy, and while not necessarily being a member of the first team in every sport, has shown significant evidence of the team concept in terms of sportsmanship, cooperation, leadership, and most importantly, individual effort. Please join me in congratulating Gerard Lawrence Conway. The Varsity Club presents annually in memory of Irving F. Albright, class of 1960, an award to that member of the sixth form who's contributed most in athletics over a period of not less than 3 years. Please join me in congratulating Braden David Hinkle. The Colonial Council Athletic Directors Award is given to a Form 6 student whose actions best exemplify positive determination, effort, and cooperation. This award is recognized by the Director of Athletics and is presented on behalf of the Colonial Council Athletic Directors to a student who has spirit, academic achievement, and positive sportsmanship qualities, fresh off a New York State record, champion Bashir Prelude.
Thank you, Paul. The Colonial Council Principals Award is given to a senior whose actions best exemplify positive leadership, as recognized by the faculty and administration, and is presented on behalf of the Colonial Council Principals for demonstrating good citizenship, school spirit, academic achievement, and positive leadership qualities. This year's recipient is a 3-sport varsity athlete. In hockey, he is a 2-time Section 2 All-Star, and in lacrosse, he has received All-League honorable mention accolades twice. He demonstrates patience under pressure, and his quiet leadership centers every team of which he is a member. Faculty and peers can always count on this student in the small moments, as well as the ones that matter most. It is with great pleasure that I present the Colonial Council Principals Award to Padraig McGillicuddy Frazier. At this time, I would like to ask Ben Kahn to come up to the stage to assist in the presentation of the Solomon Jochnowitz Kahn Memorial Prize.
Good morning, folks. Ben Kahn is my brother. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He's in Oregon. So I'm the next best thing that you're gonna get in his placement. So it's an honor to be here. I didn't necessarily go to Albany Academy, even though I admired Albany Academy. I did go to Albany High School, so I'm a local alumni of the area. Speaking about Solomon Jochnowitz Kahn Memorial Book Award was created in honor of Solomon, who's my nephew. He was a member of the class of 2006. Unfortunately, with great sadness, he passed away following a bitter battle with leukemia just short of his 19th birthday. Saul was remembered for so many things. Those essential elements of his personality and being are embodied in this award. Solomon was the epitome of what is meant to be a graduate of Albany Academies. He was well-balanced in his pursuit of academic and athletic endeavors. Saul was a captain of his wrestling team and had planned to attend University of Rochester in the fall of 2006. In addition, he had a high sense of integrity, he was trustworthy, and was inclusive of his friends and peers who knew how to advocate for himself and others without coming across as being rude or disrespectful. Saul did not judge anybody by how popular they were or their social status. What was most important to him was whether someone was welcoming, fair, compassionate, or lighthearted. He looked out for those who could not find strength in their voice to cultivate, and he cultivated genuine friendship with them. So while Saul was not able to attend college in that fall of 2006, he did have one wish that he passed on to all of his friends, and that was to ensure that everybody in that class fulfilled his dream, which is basically go to college and make the best that they can be. That is, of course, is the same wish that I passed on to 2023 graduates, to be the best that you can be, fulfill your dreams, and never stop learning. Lastly, the award is given to an upperclassman whose first thought is for others and for whom bettering the community of which he's part of is second nature. It is also for the student who, like Solomon, is a teacher for all of us through his actions and deeds. This year's award, along with a $250 grant, is being presented to Mr. Jacob Danner, who will be attending University of Massachusetts at Amherst. Please give a warm welcome to Jacob.
At this time, I would like to ask Vinnie Daler to come up to the stage to present the Jack Miles Daler Memorial Award.
The Jack Miles Daler Class of 2016 Memorial Award includes a book of the complete works of William Shakespeare and a $250 cash scholarship, and is given annually by Mark J. DeStefano, Class of 80, and Caroline Mayon DeStefano, Class of 81, and Helene DeStefano, Class of 16. It is awarded to a Form 6 student who has excelled in both the arts and academics, and who, by example, has demonstrated leadership qualities. Jack will always be remembered as living life to the fullest, loving with all his heart, and being true to himself and others. He had a thirst for knowledge which was seemingly unquenchable. He was authentic and he was kind and compassionate to everyone he met, because it was in his nature. This Shakespearean quote best illustrates Jack's spirit. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the day the night, thou canst not then be false to any man. This year's Jack Miles Daler Class of 2016 Memorial Award goes to Gordon Wallace Amadeo.
The Faculty Book Award in memory of Charles P. Stevens, Jr., Class of 1976, is given to a senior chosen by the faculty for his outstanding character and achievement while at the Academy. This student has had a major impact on the community over all facets of an Academy's education: academics, athletics, service, leadership, and citizenship. This young man is a member of Cum Laude, a 3-sport varsity athlete, prefect, and leader. He was selected to the All-League Honorable Mention lacrosse team. One moment that symbolizes this student is when he had to choose, as those who achieve a great deal often do, between his cum laude dinner and playing for his lacrosse team. Rather than enjoy a nice dinner and a toast from a teacher, he made the choice to be there for his team. Next year, he will join the Eagles at Boston College. This year's Faculty Book Award in memory of Charles P. Stevens, Jr. goes to Maximilian Kyle Flick. The Ronald J. Mann 69 Brown University Book Award, established by Mrs. Ronald Mann and the class of 1969, is granted to a Form 6 student who has excelled in academics and athletics and who has shown a strong sense of community to the Academy, commitment to the Academy and the community. This year's recipient is a cum laude inductee who has not earned less than an A since a single B in 9th grade. This year, he balanced 5 advanced placement classes as a 3-season athlete. In the fall, he was named to the all-NEPSAC football team before turning his attention to the track in the winter and spring. He was the Colonial Council champion in the 100 and 400 meter hurdles and won the Section 2 state qualifier in the 100 meter hurdles. His impact at the academies will endure in the legacy he has left his teammates, as well as the video analysis work that he did with Coach Puccio as part of his May project. Middlebury College is fortunate to have this scholar athlete join their community. This year's Ronald J. Mann 69 Brown University Book Award goes to Parker Anthony Lupatrick. The J. Cameron Brown Jr. 42 Community Service Award is given annually to an Academy student who exemplifies the ideals of the Academy through the performance of community service. This award was established in 1999 by Nancy Brown Peters and Terry Brown in honor of their father. The recipient of this year's award is a dedicated leader for the Academy's service efforts. He is persistent and persuasive, as well as clever, in his advocacy for our biannual Red Cross blood drive. And as Henry House prefect, he led his house to victory in the Cantab Challenge for the Ronald McDonald House. Most memorably to me, when a cross-country runner sustained a serious injury while running last fall, this Eagle Scout was quick to respond and perform first aid for his teammate. For his efforts, this year's J. Cameron Brown Jr. Community Service Award goes to Ethan William Reed. The Exeter Prize is given by the Exeter School in Devon, England, and goes to that student in the 6th form at the Albany Academy who stands out for virtues of friendliness and service to others. This cum laude inductee is friendliness and service personified. He can always be counted on to help in any situation, whether it's helping a new student find his footing in new surroundings, assisting a teacher, or rallying his teammates on the field or court. This young man is always eager to jump in and help, and always with a smile. His enthusiasm for all that he does is truly contagious. This year's Exeter Prize goes to Brett Andrew Nussbaum. The Helen M. DeStefano Memorial Award is presented each year to that member of the 6th form who has been a student for not less than 4 years and who shall be judged by the 6th form to best exemplify the qualities of service, commitment, and spirit of an Academy student. For this cum laude inductee, learning is not just about the content in the book or on the board. It is about the very human relationship that is at the center of teaching and learning. He has the academic chops to be successful on his own, but he's actively built relationships with his teachers and modeled for others how to do the same. Read any Times Union article about our varsity basketball team, and you will find not only his name in the box score, but also a quote praising his teammates. We will miss seeing him flag down fly balls and leg out extra bases on the baseball diamond, and I know Dr. Deno will miss his daily visits to our classroom, but we wish him the best at Hamilton College. This year's Helene M. DeStefano Memorial Award goes to Gianni Waldman DeSerbo. and the Wendell Memorial Prize is awarded each year by the Albany Academy Alumni Association to that student who shall be judged by the faculty to have done the most for the school and who, in the spirit of Theodore A. Wendell, class of 1924, best exemplifies the ideals of the Albany Academy. This year's recipient is a lifer at the Albany Academies. He has a sense of responsibility that leads him to deflect well-earned praise. If you ask him about his experience here, he will be quick to express his gratitude toward the faculty, to his family, as well as his appreciation for the opportunities that he has had here. This cum laude inductee is a leader of our community in both words and actions, whether he is leading the color guard or racing back and forth across the track to cheer on teammates. We are grateful for his commitment to our community, as well as the pledge he has made to serve our country by accepting his appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis in just a few weeks. This year's Wendell Memorial Prize goes to William James Bartoli. Now, to present the senior class gift, please welcome the president of the class of 2023, Aiden Phillips.
Good morning. It is an Albany Academy tradition that the graduating class donates a gift in honor of their class. Our room parents, Mrs. Stannard, Mrs. Vartuli, and Mrs. Daly surveyed both the girls' and boys' class on several ideas. The idea that rose to the top was creating a Mac lab. We donated 19 Mac Minis as well as their corresponding monitors. These Mac Minis have downloaded on them a program called Boot Camp, which will give them the ability to work also, which will give them the graphics capacity to also do engineering, studio design, filmmaking, and photography, as well as function as just personal computers. Thank you to everyone who donated and to everyone who participated in this. Thank you.
Our valedictorian's favorite quote is, "Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without." Our valedictorian excels in so many ways, but what makes him truly outstanding is his willingness to take risks, whether expressing his intellectual curiosity across the academic spectrum or chasing down a competitor at a cross-country meet. He is a National Merit Commended student who is also devoted to his community, volunteering at his temple, coaching others in the Dilruba, and completing a medical internship in India. Next year, he will continue his studies at Carnegie Mellon University. Please join me in welcoming the valedictorian of the 210th graduating class of Albany Academy, Jasraj Sahota.
Morning, everyone. It has been such a pleasure to listen to all the other speeches today. I feel tremendous pride and honor in being part of such a special occasion. Before I forget, I'd also like to give another shout out to the boys track team and our 4 individuals who went down to Middletown and somehow came out with states. So, nice job, track team. So let me get the formalities out the way. Obviously, this is not possible without the help of so many people. To my classmates, who I've had the pleasure of sharing these halls with, sincere thank you and a warm congrats on making it to this day. To the teachers and staff and my advisor, those who have gone above and beyond to enable our success, I personally can't thank you enough. And to my own family, who have dealt with my idiosyncrasies and molded me into who I am today. Words aren't enough to describe how grateful I am to have grown up with you all. And to those I haven't mentioned, those who played a role in getting here today, thank you. My mother has always been an avid lover of flowers. It isn't possible to turn a corner in a home without being greeted by a jar or a pot that contains some variety of flower. And while her track record in keeping these alive is mixed, those that did survive were the result of heaps of time and effort spent on nurturing a seedling to a blossoming plant. As I scan the graduates of our class, I see a lot of uniquely different and talented individuals. Hell, I'd even consider they're as good as the flowers. Some of you all took some more time to grow up and hone in your strengths, while others of you were 6'3" in middle school. And I know your parents are here, so I'll be asking what they put in your water. The great variety of those in our class also have differing views on what their future is going to look like. Some of you, like me, are eager to roll out of here and make your mark on the world. Others may be more cautious, maybe nervous, even scared about what is ahead of you all. That's okay. I'd be lying if I wasn't nervous too. Isn't it funny how we can feel such different emotions about the same thing? That's the beautiful part about being a part of the human race, though. We can experience life's greatest and most opposite emotions at the same time. We can learn happiness through sadness, compassion through suffering, and even love through loss. Life is really just a big game of perspective. And while there isn't a board game called perspective, there is one called life. And it's up to us to decide which one we are going to live. What can lead some to success can lead others to failure. And while I can't map out a road to success for you, I can say that you've got as good as a shot as the person you're sitting next to. Each day is a new day with new opportunities for you, and you shouldn't let your past stop you from doing what you really want to do in the present. To everyone in this room, go after what scares you, what you really want, and don't let anyone tell you that there's something you can't do. As we depart from this moment today, I ask you to think about how you can live the deepest and most active lives. Live each day like it's your last, and allow yourself to feel the breath life has to offer. And as we, the class of 2023, go on to chase that green light that Gatsby so desired, I hope you all can take a moment to stop and smell the flowers. Thank you.
And now, we will present the diplomas to the class of 2023. We, the trustees and faculty of the Albany Academy, will now grant diplomas to the class of 2023 in testimony that they have completed the course of instruction prescribed by the statutes of this institution, and also that during their academic course, their conduct and diligence have been such as to merit our approbation. Maxime Alexander Almonte, lifer. Gordon Wallace Amadeo, lifer, cum laude. Charles Christian Erikilian. Jamar Pierre Ballard Jr., postgraduate. Austin Tyler Bass. Jaron Jeremiah Buford. Adante Anthony Bianchino, postgraduate. Jackson Stephen Bissell. Ethan Micaiah Bowden. Andrew Tyler Brady. Brooks Aiden Brennan. John Lee Bryant. Jacob Romeo Camoin, cum laude. Andrew John Cataldo. Robert Garnett Chandler. Gerard Lawrence Conway III. Nolan Allen Cummings. John Kanan Daly, lifer, salutatorian, cum laude. Jack Michael Dalto, diploma presented by his mother, faculty member Jennifer Dalto. Jacob Evan Hahn Danner, cum laude. Jack Craig Darby. Jack Michael DeSantis. Joshua Robert DeRogers. Nicholas Andres Diaz Gana. Gianni Waldman DeServo, cum laude. Peyton Lucas Dye. Ali Farhan. Maximilian Kyle Flick, cum laude. Padre McGillicuddy Frazier. Ela Fu. James Andrew Gurdon. Yuhan Han. Liam Francis Hayes. Braden David Henkel. Malachi Malik Ames. Michael Francis Iavino. Christian Antonio Girardi. Austin Ross Jerzak. Doris Nigel Gerard. Ty Armstrong Kimbler. Luke Francis Kurgelak. Zhe Hao Lee, diploma presented by his host mother, Dr. Jessica Chen, Director of our International Student Program. Parker Anthony Lupesis, cum laude. Zai Eden Akio Luncheon Lowry. Martin John Magaletta. John Patrick Mahoney. Alexander Marino Marashula. Willem Allen Mizenko. Carter Andrew Gordon. William Thomas Nigro, diploma presented by his grandmother, a member of the Board of Visitors, Barbara Haynes. Brett Andrew Nussbaum, cum laude. Jacob Peter Oliver, cum laude. Leonardo Rafael Papaleo. Aiden James Parslow. Aiden Yermakhan Phillips. Bashir Aswanzu Prelude. Ethan William Reed, lifer, diploma presented by his mother, staff member Michelle Reed. Hogan Jason Reinheimer. Jasraj Singh Sahota, cum laude, Devin Brady Shaker. Matthew Charles Stevens, lifer, diploma presented by his mother, faculty member Laura Stevens. Carter Patrick Sturgeon. Yi Sun. Jordan Franklin Timmons. William James Bartuli, lifer, cum laude. In just a moment, we will close and process out, led by members of the dais, followed by trustees and faculty, and our newest alumni. Please take advantage of the family photo opportunity, which will take place here in the front of the stage following the ceremony. We also hope that you will join us for a reception under the class of 1970 pavilion. And now it's time. By virtue of the authority of the Board of Trustees and the head of school of the Albany Academy, and by vote of your faculty, we confer upon you your diploma or certificate of completion with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges appertaining thereto, and welcome you to the community of Learned Academy men. Families, friends, faculty, staff, I present to you the Albany Academy class of 2023. Today, we ask that you join us. You'll find the lyrics on the back of your program.
I couldn't look 'cause I was like,